and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center.
In this 1 week, any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pain and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417, let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Wonderful Thursday afternoon to you, everyone. It is the third day of the month of October 2024. Welcome once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer. I did announce to you that I'll be having a co-host, no stranger to you today. Terence Fenelon is with me in studio once again, and I want to bid him good afternoon and welcome. Always a pleasure, always exciting, always a lot of anticipation when you were on. So welcome back with us, and I hope it won't be as long as the last time. And now?
I'm hoping not.
All right, and Jaquan is our technical operator once again. I can tell you that today I'll be giving almost the whole program, except for this introduction, to Terence Fenelon, who is chomping at the bit. He's got a lot that he really wants to share with you. But let me just, make a very quick point. Am I a criminal because I interviewed somebody who has a criminal history or is later found to have some criminal connections? Because I see nowadays there is that trend that if there is a CIP program and somebody who's involved in some CIP business gets arrested or gets charged or gets flagged, whatever, that automatically you are implicated in it and so on. Let me tell you a story very, very quickly. You see all this brouhaha with Alan Stanford and the connection to Antigua and Barbuda, where he set up business and, became quite a big boy there, I mean, people became millions, through Stanford. Remember that Stanford T20, $20 million each player that played that game that they won against England and so on. They became instant millionaires, got a $1 million, just like that and so on, including our own Darren Sammy, including Chris Gale, including a guy from Antigua called Sylvester Bouncing Joseph, and so many of them. You see all this thing where they try to tie a noose around Antigua's neck of association with corruption and Stanford's Ponzi scheme and all this sort of thing? People, do you know that Stanford got ringing endorsements from no less a person than the president? And that's on record, of the United States at the time. I think it was the younger Bush, George W. Bush, who gave endorsements, and it was on the basis of the kind of big up that Stanford got, that they welcomed him with open arms as the best thing that ever happened since what and so on. The man who was going to be a savior. And that boosted Antigua's economy, the kind of money the man pumped in, the kind of salaries he was making, investments in just about everything you can think of. People hitting $10,000 salary at a time when that was a dream, for people. A lot of the problems that Antigua had was around the very same time that Stanford was arrested and things began to fall apart. It's the same time that the global economic crisis began to bite, and I mean, it was after Cricket World Cup 2007 and things. There just wasn't anything to replace it and so on, and the whole subprime mortgage crisis in the US. A whole lot of things happened at the time. But Stanford, nobody would at the time have thought that the guy was such a crook. But when these things come, everybody will say, oh, Antigua, they housed this guy, they aided and abetted this guy, and they embraced this guy and so on. But nobody said. Somebody involved, whether it's Galaxy or whatever, later on some principal in China or Hong Kong or whatever it is, gets arrested and so on. You mean to tell me if for example, Fenelon is later found to be less than what he's cracked up to be and what we think, that means that Shelton Daniel is also along the same path or vice versa and so on? Anyway, when I start to talk, I have difficulty stopping. So I said that I'm going to cede the main part of the program, if not all of it, to Terry Fenelon, who, as every good thing, is scarce. So let's have him, get going.
Thank you. I like to see you in full flight, Two of the TV and radio personalities, I really enjoy listening to you in full flight. And also Claudius Francis, in straight up, because the nature of Claudius' show was that it was very educational. Although he was a politically exposed person, so to speak, but you learned a lot on his programs, and I really enjoy those. So I'm here today with you, Shelton, after a long time. Too long? I'm hoping it will not be as long again. Welcome. Let me just say good afternoon to our listeners, viewers, wherever you are. It's a pleasure to be back. I'm wearing red today because I understood somebody called elections.
Okay, well, I'm wearing green today, so you are danger, I am safety.
Somebody has decided that elections will be called. Is it the 30th of February?
Something so.
I heard the Prime Minister saying something like that. It's the 30th of February.
And it's a date you don't have to struggle to remember that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes. On that day, we good. Yeah. So the 30th of February, we have elections. So we're in election mode. So I'm preparing for that. All right? So we're ready. Now, when I come here, Shelton, I'm really about the politics for the time being, unless something else catches my interest. And as I have told my audience, once I'm here, I'm dealing with one theme, going down to elections. It's the tale of two prime ministers. So I don't know if Jaquan wants to put that there. And I want you to look at this banner. I don't know how it speaks to you. I don't know how it is going to speak to our audience. Because, I was clearing my phone because I have so many pictures and videos and it's clogging up the memory. And, after a while clearing, you come across certain things and these things.
Give me 1 second. I see a call coming from Senator Lisa Jawahir.
All right. Okay, good.
So I don't know if she maybe doesn't realize that we are on air, but she is calling.
Maybe she has something pressing.
Yes. Senator.
Honorable Daniel.
You realize that once you call me now, it's live on air?
I am very much aware because I have breaking news. I just came off the phone with the parliamentary representative for Castries East.
My representative.
There's a particular. Oh, good night, Mr. TF. How are you?
I'm good.
Good night. You still for the record? You still dealing with last night? Go on, as you know, got a good night. Okay, go ahead.
Still on a roll. Good afternoon, comrades. Good afternoon, St. Lucia. Yes, I just came off the phone with the parliamentary representative because the project they said that was not happening because Rockall, Marshall, and the people of Castries East are undeserving. Official works have commenced today.
All right.
Today, that development at Rockall to ensure that these buildings are up, that affordable housing is brought to Castries East.
Correct.
It is happening today. And we have to realize that the people who are against this are people who really do not want us to progress. Because when you look at the conversation on St. Lucia's CIP, because that project is funded by the CIP, there are only two people outside of our country who are on a mission to destroy what we have. And we have persons who support that and are supporting these people who are not patriots, who are not St. Lucians, right? The two gentlemen that everybody know, they know who I'm talking about, who are on a mission singing the UWP narrative to try to prevent people from having roofs over their heads because it's the CIP that is going to give us that 100 homes in Masqué Ancillary. The same constituency they say that's the poorest of the poor, that's behind God's back, that is only good enough for people to make toilet stops. Honorable Wayne Gerard is bringing that through the CIP to the constituency of Ancillary, and Castries East MP, the Prime Minister, is bringing a housing development because all they can say is Philip JP are not doing anything for Marshall, Philip JP are not doing anything for Castries East, but look it, and tell them I say put it in their pipe
and smoke it.
Well, we are heading there in a few minutes.
Correct.
Because the contractor is there. And I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to continue to celebrate. We are coming off of a high where our country was unified. This young lady has really brought people together. Julian Alfred rocked our nation and rocked the world. And even coming off of that, they want to just continue to push the CIP. CIP is going to change the lives of St. Lucians, Shelton, and I'm really, really excited about that. So that development, there has been approval for that development already, and the contractor is on the ground. I spoke to the contractor as well, and for the benefit of anybody who wants to go up there, including the one that say he wants to run the seat, he can go up there and see it for himself and watch it and take pictures and show it to his colleagues that when the Prime Minister said he's going to do something for his people, he's going to do it, and it is exactly that, and it's happening right now. So Shelton, I couldn't keep that news to myself. I had to call you. I'm sorry for interrupting, but when the Prime Minister gave me that news, I was really excited to share it with you today.
It's a good interruption. Thank you very much, Senator Lisa Jawari.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
It's breaking news and it's a bombshell.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we have heard threats of bombshells and then they have turned out to be shells. But this is remarkable. Actually, this
as they say in military parlance, they turn out to be duds.
You're right. So I was about to read something, but I cannot internalize it. That somebody sent me something on that same issue with the guy who is supposed to be doing it, the beeswax or whatever. I maybe in the break I'll try to read to internalize and maybe explain, because the propaganda and the misinformation and lies.
Yes.
You could put back the banner for me, please.
The tale of the two prime ministers.
The tale of the two prime ministers, and I want everyone to understand. Once I reach here, Jaquan, that is my that is a prompt, because that is my overarching theme. Everything else will flow from that. Because today, Shelton, I want to tackle that in 3 ways. I want to look at the prime minister as a there's no comparison, contrast.
Yes.
Maybe I'll compare him to somebody from Africa in a while. Then I'll look at one of his policies, because Shelton, there's too many. We're going to discuss it and flesh it out completely. You understand?
Yes.
And then we will look at the policies of the UWP, because it's important for us to look at the policy and dissect the policies and dissect them to see if it makes sense to the people of St. Lucia. So today, does that speak to you, Shelton? I see you. I know you were watching that. I was going across my phone there, clearing it, and then I came across these two photos that I had there for a while. Well, one recently. One was you could see the Prime Minister there with his hand up. If you look to the right of your screen or so, you'll see that that's a dark day. This represents the dark days, 2016 to 2021.
Right.
When St. Lucia couldn't breathe. Our land was being frittered away, given away to foreigners, gifted to foreigners. Our money was just given away to cement manufacturers to buy vaccines, the wastage. You understand? The stoppage of all the social programs, nice, step, proud, Tutbagay, was stoppage. We've seen guys giving $32 million to plant grass, artificial grass, cancer causing, etc. We couldn't breathe, Shelton. We couldn't breathe. We couldn't get a break. Even the little laptops of the children were taken away.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? The little things, everything for the solution, everything for the struggling person was taken away. Look, we even heard a man say he was actively contemplating a minimum wage.
Yeah, he was
always about to do something.
He's the one who built everything, even though it was just
even though it was just a lying to the St. Lucia National Trust, giving them the word about the demolition, and then in the dark dead of night, you demolishing stuff. You understand? So here it is. We couldn't breathe, Shelton. But you see what is happening in Africa.
Exactly.
In the Sahel states, North Africa,
Yes.
Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso.
They're throwing off all the shackles, the remaining of.
And then when I saw this photo of the Prime Minister with this hand, I know the skeptics don't say I'm racist. It's not racist.
It reminded you of the liberation.
Liberation.
Yes.
And here we have the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. That's what Philippines, sorry, the Prime Minister. Sorry, folks. When somebody, you see, like you say, juju, because we love juju, PJP, that's a term of endearment.
Yes.
So when I saw that photo, I took a while to look at it, and it spoke to me. Here was a man, after, we suffered 2016 to 2021. They were even thinking of paying civil servants with bonds. But Marcy doesn't take bonds.
Yes, that was spoken about.
Yes.
Yeah.
But liberation.
So you're saying that Philip J. Pierre came back and allowed us to breathe again?
Breathe again. Yes. You see, just as they say now in Burkina Faso, Thomas Sankara is back in the person of Abraham Traore.
Traore, yes.
And if you compare what Sankara and Traore are doing, it's a simple mantra we have now, putting people first.
That's right.
It was the country first, the people first, and that is what Abraham Traore, he has had 5 attempts on his life already. Because the liberation and the Western powers and things cannot stomach that.
And even right here in the Caribbean,
yes,
it speaks to the thing that Fidel Castro sought to do.
Right. So you put in your people first. Now I will tell you why that is so good. You know that UWP has a version of that.
Of what?
Putting people first.
Tell me about
the theme, I think, is people focus.
People focus.
Focus, something centered.
So they're trying to copy.
Basically, it's people putting people first.
Yeah, they're trying to copy without seeing.
It cannot resonate because that's too long. First of all, that not sitting on people's. That not rolling off your tongue. You know, people focus, country. Somebody send it to me because right now I don't have time for that.
Right.
You understand? So you're trying to copy, and that's what Philip JP is actually running two parties because everything he does is copied.
That's right.
Everything Philip JP does is copied by the opposition.
Sadly, they're not in government, so they cannot replicate
it. and it cannot catch on. So putting people first, Sankara and my folks, you could Google it when you have time. Look at Thomas Sankara and what he did in a short space of time. The transformation. He kicked out the colonialists and he decided the reforms, and his reforms must redound to the benefit of these people. And there's a quote I want to play there. Jacqueline, if you have it. If you have it, just put it there. And you could see that is exactly what Philip JP is doing. I want that quote. I want you to read it with me. Okay. I think we have a little time delay there.
Yes.
But Jacqueline has it there. I want to quote it correctly. You understand? It is about...
Yes, we must choose either champagne for a few or safe drinking water for all. Yes.
That encapsulate the ethos, the principles of the Labour Party, the SLP-led administration at present. We are going to contemplate what? Not champagne for a few, but safe drinking water for all. Now, I'm talking to my Flubbo friends also, you know, because I want them to understand we love you. We want what is best for the country. And I know you want what's best for you and for your country. So we don't want champagne for the few. We don't want a man to be able to spend one night at a hotel for $8,000.
Yes, $8,000.
Teachers and civil servants don't make $8,000. Some of them don't make $8,000 in a month. Some of them have to wait 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months to make $8,000. And one man will go to a hotel and spend $8,000 a night.
A night for about 7 nights. Or
you know what he was doing? Play that picture. I'm sure that picture there of this guy at the races, because you see it's champagne for the few. That's the philosophy of the United Workers' Party, and that is the philosophy we are going to reject.
Yes,
we don't want champagne for the few. We want safe drinking water for all.
Yes.
And I'm going to begin to show you how Philip JP and the administration they are doing that. They ensure. They should just call housing development at Rockall.
That's right.
Everybody believes Rockall is a backwater. No, it's part of St. Lucia, and they deserve the best.
Yes.
You see this man there? That is a champagne for the few, you know.
And anytime Philip JP is there, he always ensures. Some years ago, there was the land slippage and at Black Malay, and he intervened to make sure
people are taken care of, and they were able to go get lands at Carolee, etc. Look at you took the photo of something. That's champagne for the few. I'm just showing them. You see, that is what you came in power to do, for self-aggrandizement. So you could go to the races in England. You could rub shoulders with the Queen, etc.
As they say in our cafe, go, you know, go.
Right, so you could rub shoulders with the high and mighty, and you have to live the lifestyle. So you're going to be in a hotel for $8,000 a day.
That's right.
Champagne for the few. But Philip Pierre is not like that. Philip Pierre is about safe drinking water for all.
Yes.
And that's the mantra. Maybe that should be our mantra for the next election.
Yeah.
Putting you first, ensuring that there is safe drinking water for all. In other words, the piece of the pie. Think about that. Teachers got paid last week.
Of course, yes.
And they had a hefty teaching materials allowance in their pay packet.
At the beginning of the academic year.
At the beginning of the academic year. Drinking water, safe drinking water. In other words, as the pie is increasing and as we are doing better, that the pie will be spread among what? The people, as we put the people first. You understand? So this Sankara guy there with his hand, Philip JP, he's telling you that is very simple. I want you to put that back. That is very simple. That must speak to you.
That's right.
Because that is what that he embodies that kind of thing. Putting you first. And he has made that. So let us begin to look at that. You see the photo where this man has killing us. You know, the Bible says the thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and
Yes,
destroy.
that's right.
During the years 2016 to 21, what they did? They stole our joy. We couldn't breathe. They stole our joy. They killed our spirit.
Stifled our
They
development.
destroyed our morale. But July 26, we had a liberator. And this guy is showing in 3 years that he really means, he carries the mantra well, putting people first. And he has made it clear. You understand his policies, everything that is that he's directing it to ensuring that everyone benefits. So let's just talk first about
freedom and justice.
First, bread, freedom and justice. That's what it's about. So everybody. The teachers are happy. It's Teachers Week. So he gave them that TMA just in time for Teachers Week. I hope they invite me to something, in all that celebration and stuff. I hope they invite me. You know, I hear that. Yeah, I hope they invite me to partake and satiate in one of the activities. But I'll be there. But it's safe drinking water for all. So we can begin to look at how the administration, how the cabinet, how Philip JP and his cabinet, how they do that. Well, Lisa, thank you. You called with the bombshell, okay, and breaking news. The developer, the contractor is on site. Maybe if they are still there after this program, we could bust a line there to see how it is. That's where the old Rock Hall School was. Actually, Babono Secondary. That's where we were first. In 1999, that's where we were first. So we were there. All right. So he's doing that. He's ensuring that the CIP money is being used to benefit, not champagne for a few, not for a few, but for all. Okay, let's talk education, because we're talking about policies. Remember, we're going to discuss one policy, and we're going to discuss education, and then look at the UWP's response to that.
Okay, let's do that after this break.
Oh, we're taking a break.
It's already 1 o'clock, isn't it, Jekwan? So let's take the break, and when we come back, Terry Fenelon, always inform and on fire, will continue.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there will be a following week for cytology testing. We also going to test for HPV strain 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Staying with the real issues on this Thursday, the day 3 of the month number 10. Yeah, the 3rd of October 2024. And since it's Thursday, we expect that tonight on NBC television and on Real FM radio, as well as on Facebook Live, has its own page. It will be Can I Help You with Richard Frederick, starting 8:30 in the PM. And we expect, unless he has some special guest, that it will be Richard and Albert Fregis doing duty on Can I Help You tonight, 8:30 on NBC, Real FM, Facebook Live, etc. You know, Cornelia Jacob says, actually, champagne, and I think she's responding to what we said about instead of champagne for a few. She said, actually, champagne was not chosen for anyone at all. It was Chico. And she says, you know, Philip J. Perry is not just a liberator, he's a liberator.
Yes, that's right.
Very good, very
that's
good.
Right, that's
she
right.
is so witty, you know, and
Yeah.
all of that. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. I mean, the champagne in Castries is fizzled out. It went flat, unfortunately.
The what?
The champagne in Castries East.
Yes.
It fizzled out. It popped. It went flat. It has no more taste, unfortunately. Flat at tail, unfortunately. But Shelton, this is something else. I mean, when you look at what transpired in 2016, 2021, the disrespect for the Constitution, the lack of observation of rules and regulations, one man doing what he wanted and everybody totally submitting and afraid to speak up. And when you look at the candidate selection, you heard this guy from Soufre, Jimmy Haynes, I think, coming on Champagne. It tells you how this man must have been running his cabinet, and we saw him run government. It was a one-man show. Is do what I say or else, and if you cannot just respect the laws in or the rules in your party, you disregard them to do as you please. And the chairman say, we're choosing people who are going to be submissive, totally submissive.
Yes.
I mean, that says, oh Lord, this is how you intend to run a country?
Yes.
Based on your whims and fancies, not on laws and norms and regulations, is what I say. So you're going to present a slate of candidates. The fellas did not even know they were deselected or not in the process. They came on the boulevard to hear, and then on the boulevard they're hearing somebody has selected and not. I mean, this is a recipe for disaster. This is chaos.
But you see, a lot of them, they set themselves up for that to happen
yes,
to them.
Yes. I mean, I was in shock. I was like, I thought there was a process.
Yeah.
We would have thought.
Or at least some discussion.
Yeah. But nobody, I heard a woman was crying blood because she heard, just as everybody else, that she was not selected for Castries Central and stuff. I mean, is that how you run? If that's how you're going to run an organization, well, we knew that. Actually, we knew that. When he was a senator for the Minister of Tourism, we saw how he ran the Ministry of Tourism. He maxed out the cards.
By the way, talking about Ministry of Tourism, let's not forget to say welcome back
home
to Louis Lewis.
Welcome back home.
Yes. Back as the head of the St. Lucia, now St. Lucia Tourism Authority. But we know he had a very senior history at the St. Lucia Tourism.
No more brain drain. We're bringing him back in. People who could do something and move the country forward. When you have talented sons of the soil. A former gentleman would have dismissed me to take somebody and pay them how much money to do the job, foreigner, because he relates to foreigners. What is the guy he brought in? This guy
Heppel was
and paid Heppel a absurd amount of money for things any A-level student could have done.
Like it's something he has a compulsion to do because in the next dispensation he brings in Lockerbie to show us how to plant grass,
and he brings Ernst & Young to do the budget that we have been doing for,
and he brings in another one to go and make message to go and make message for him with $7 million that
7.3 million. You see that
run by vaccine.
Now people will say you're not racist. It's just that the man is displaying what is in him. You understand? He's displaying what is in him. So welcome back, Louis. we're happy to have you back, a son of the soil, brilliant son of the soil, who will make a contribution, and we are thankful for that. And Philip Pierre likes to give his people a chance, putting us first. So let's begin to look at some of the policies. Let's take education, for example. Now, first of all, remember the Prime Minister. We have had 3 years of positive economic growth. The pie is enlarging, is getting bigger. And he has made a promise to us that as things improve, you will see that there will be more of the distribution of the pie.
Right.
And we have to be patient. Everything cannot be done one time. So teachers this month, and I'm going to talk a little in education, and there's a misconception I want to dispel. I needed to get something, but don't worry, I'll do it at a subsequent time. I'll be back with you more often. So that's neither there. The policy and education. Some people are trying to rewrite history. So let me try with all sincerity, because I was part of the process. When I say part of the process, it's a lived experience. I was there, so I knew. When they talk about universal secondary education, I don't know if you understood that, if you understood it properly. Our boys and girls were on the shift, Ave Maria RFC Boys Primary. For decades. On the shift system, I worked on the shift, and on the afternoon shift. Where our children were missing school for almost half an hour. Well, they were losing half an hour of instruction every day as compared to the secondary other schools. And then a decision had to be made under Kenny Anthony, Mario Michel, Dr. Didicus Jules. We have to get this, we have to have that was revolutionary for us. We cannot have half of our student population being discarded after you write a common entrance exam, labeling you as a failure. You are not a failure. And that went on for years, for decades. You wrote common entrance. You were about 6,000 children writing common entrance. We had space for how many? And the other 3,000? Where go?
Yes, devil take the hindmost, yeah.
I mean, you have a country that's serious about development, and you're losing so many children at that tender age. They had to fend for themselves, see what you could do. And so the decision was made, a very bold decision. Kenny Anthony, Mario Michel, the Honorable, how do you call him now? Your Worship? He's Your Worship now. He's a judge. And
I think it's Your Lordship.
Your Lordship.
Your Worship is the magistrate.
One thing I could tell you as
Minister, the magistrate. Your Honor is the High Court judge.
Right.
And I think at the appeal level where he is now,
this man was not easy. When I say not easy, this man took no prisoners. You know, he had no friends. You know, we can fraternize after, but you see when it comes to your work, you know, I was afraid of that man. I'm confessing that now. A healthy fear, because I just know, boy, you just have to be straight, because this man did not accept any compromises, no mediocrity, etc. Anyway, so the decision was made. They constructed the Babonneau Secondary School, of which, fortunately, I was the principal. Angers Secondary, PI Secondary, Cicero, and the Dame Paulette Louise School was built so that the RC Boys Primary and the Ave Maria. I forgot. Did I say PI? Right. Could get off the shift. And that shift was in place for years. And we were losing our children at the age 12 years, 13 years. We tell them, see for yourself. Yes. That was a travesty.
And Mario was of the view that if you are going to develop and position yourself for the future in terms of your human resource capacity, at the very minimum, everybody who goes through the school system should be given a chance to darken the doors of a secondary.
That's right.
You know?
So that was the first phase, revolutionary.
Yes.
We broke that mold. We broke through the glass ceiling there. We had every child. Yes, you could say, well, you had issues, etc. And now the natural progression would have been, after this point, to see how you could improve upon it. And I'm so happy now that we've seen the introduction of TVET schools, four of the secondary schools being transformed.
Right.
So children can have a different career path. That should have been the natural. But you know, when universal secondary school education came on board, that was knocked by the opposition. They formed a committee to look into it to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They brought in and I'm like, that was waste of government resources and funds.
There's always a committee.
Because Labour did it, it's not good, so you have to look at it to refine. You should have been looking at it to say, yes, okay, now that we have reached that stage, what is the next stage? And now we have reached the next stage.
Usually the reason for delaying and doing things over is to see how it can be done in a manner where some resources can be milked from it. Give a contract to somebody there. So labor, whatever, even if St. Jude, you leave St. Jude for them and it is sailing smoothly towards completion, somebody have to come and stop it because they want to do it over in a way where, they can bleed some, a few millions from it. Yeah.
Can I tell you, I spoke to somebody when Flu had this thing for the children. 5,000 children who couldn't afford, so they gave them the broadband, etc. $20.
For $20, yeah.
That sat on a minister's desk because there's no bubble.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
There's
For
no
my
bubble.
cronies, for my friends.
There was no bubble in that.
Yeah.
But as soon as the Labour Party, Philip JP came in,
Yes.
the Liberator, he realized that would benefit the poor.
So he didn't.
And the marginalized.
He didn't throw it aside because it was something that was mooted under the previous administration. He examined it to see what's the good in it. You
And he
understand?
realized, but hello, that's to bring relief to our people, those who don't have.
Yes.
We went on that almost immediately. So you see, it was not about him. It was not about champagne for the few. It's safe drinking water for all.
Yes.
So the poor child in Foisson, who does not have, access to the internet, to the Wi-Fi, they can get that for a measly sum of $20, and he can do his work, etc. So we have that. So they said they were the ones who did that. No, that was a. You see, the Labour Party always understand. We have always understood that education is important, and one of the things we are heavy on that. So the policy is clear. Look at what Dr. Anthony did. He said, "Boy, I know the struggles." So when he came in, he gave a bushel of $500. They couldn't take it out because that would have been political madness, suicide. They kept it. But Philip came in and says, no, we know the hardships, we're going to pay facilities fees for everyone. Now, listeners and followers, I might be repetitive because we need to bring that home, because I read something by Lord Help Me saying that he was in town yesterday and he heard people talking, and he had to scratch his head because of the things they were saying. So we have to repeat those things so that people can understand. So he paid facilities fees, not for a few, not for Labour Party supporters or the children of Labour Party supporters, but for all. It is safe drinking water for all. So everybody, so the schools, and I mean, the benefits of the school. I could tell you that has this now. Schools don't have as many barbecues and stuff like they used to have before. Fundraising like that, because Philip JP and the administration has made it much easier for them to run school, so they can do other things apart from staying 2 o'clock in the morning pushing their hand in cold water getting arthritis.
And they can still do their fundraising.
They can still do it, but it's not as pressing.
Yes.
But it's what you see.
It's not a matter of desperation. Yeah.
So he has done that. I'm lining the policy because I'm telling you, the UWP is going to have a hard time explaining what would be the education policy, because I'm going to ask them what it is that Philip JP is not doing that you all will do, and they're going to have a hard time. So he has started. He says CXC, Math and English, which is already a relief. But he said once the economy improves and gets better, we're looking at paying 5 CXCs minimum for all.
That's right.
Shelton, listeners, viewers, I want that to sink in. Sometimes a parent, let me just give a personal example. I think I gave it already. A gentleman, normally you don't see gentlemen, you don't see men, you see the ladies come in, to the school when it's time to pay up, and they can't pay. And I remember vividly that gentleman that day, that morning, Shelton, the man bawled like a baby because his daughter is about to write. The deadline is there, and he has not a cent. But at the time, I already knew where the money was coming from. Not from at the time, it was Philip. I'll tell you why. There's a lady who doesn't want me to mention it, but I'll say it. Because I'll tell you, Sir John Compton in death did more for the young people of St. Lucia than Alan Shastney in his near 6 years as Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Now, if you want me to qualify that, listeners, let me know. I'm going to say it again. Sir John Compton, in his death, God bless his soul, may he rest in peace, is doing more or had done more for the young students of St. Lucia The Alan Shaslin is near 6 years as Prime Minister. And I can explain that if you want me to explain that. Okay? So Philip J. Pierre has said 5 CXCs. So this gentleman is a, and Shelton, you know, as a big man, I don't like to see people cry. And this man is bawling because he doesn't know where to turn to.
Yeah.
And you know, I always kept a roll of tissue paper in the top left-hand drawer on my desk.
Yeah.
I gave it to him. I allowed him to cry because sometimes you have to allow.
Yeah.
Let that catharsis come in, let that cleansing. And I said, Daddy, it's all right. Your daughter will be writing the subject. I think she was writing 7 subjects. It's paid for. You know who paid for it?
Tell me.
Sir John Compton.
Oh,
The
really?
late Sir John Compton.
Okay, how?
That's right. I'm happy you ask. Lady Janice Compton, I know you're going to take my head for that. You blessed lady. This lady, you're going to find a better lady than this, Lady Janice. Every year, the Sir John Compton Memorial Foundation pays for students in all secondary schools who can't afford to write the CXCs. And Lady Janice is so nice.
Why didn't she want that known? I mean,
no, she doesn't. You know, if you know Lady Janice, she has no fuss, no airs about her. She does just a thing quietly. Imagine she should drive to the school to collect the slips and pay it herself.
Okay.
Until I said, nah, I used to go to her home, and other principals too. And then she, you know, electronically now you could do that. So she's calling something, and she was on time. At a certain time of year, Mr. Fernando, don't you have the names for me? You know, in a nice. I said, yeah, let it take you. Yeah, give me a minute. And run and call my IT person. So John, in his death, doing more. Where you had this guy who sabotaged his party, took laptops and everything, telling him, his minister of education, oh, give me something in the cloud. If you say a cloud, then I know how to move. So John was paying CXCs, the late Sir John, in death, for hundreds of students for years.
Okay.
Now Philip J. Pierre says he's going to be doing that. So Lady Janice and the foundation may have to find something else to do, maybe school feeding or something. You understand? So the Prime Minister said that I'll be paying 5.
Or maybe there can be some collaboration.
No, well, I think she will be able to do, if I know her well, with the support of the school, they will be doing something else.
Okay.
You understand? So the policy. So I'm going to ask the UWP, what will be your policy on education? What are you going to do? Already, Philip J. Pierre is already giving teachers at the end of September a TMA. But he didn't have to do that, mind you. There is no law. There's nothing which says that he ought to have done that. Okay? He did that out of the goodness of his heart. Okay? Next thing, Shelton with the schools, we realized the TVET. That should have been a natural progression. These guys have almost 6 years.
Right.
They did nothing. Sean has come in there now, and in no time, but sorry, the Honorable Sean Edward and his team, we have 4 schools now going TVET. Shelton, I predict that in a few years' time, well, we'll have a lot of entrepreneurs because fellas will be able to repair vehicles, or even musicians, so they can go on the boats, the ships, to play music, barbers. So you'll find a lot less deviance in the society because now you're equipping them with a skill and a qualification that they can go anywhere in the Caribbean because they get the Caribbean vocational qualification. They can go anywhere in the Caribbean to work because the civic will say what skills they have, what they can do, etc. And they can build on that.
Exactly.
So you see, that is revolutionary. That's visionary. 4 schools doing TVET. You see, at one time we were knocking TVET, but that is the most important thing now, you know. I mean, the grammar type thing is important, but we need the technicians. We need the skilled workers. Because you heard the Honorable Reno talking about having to import workers because we cannot find skilled workers.
Yes.
That's a kind of an indictment on us. But now that hole is being plugged, that's a policy that hole is being plugged. We can say yes, because we are moving along in the direction that, yes. So I'm going to ask, what is your policy, UWP, on education?
Right.
They're going to have a hard time explaining what it is that Philip J. Pierre is not doing, that you will be doing. We're going to analyze that just now, and I mean, it might be a papi show. I know that I want to do that. I'm Shelton. I don't want to do that, but you understand?
Yes.
I don't want to do that. Now, Philip J. Pierre has outlined the 1 graduate per household.
1 university graduate per household, at least. At least then that's what we say.
That's right.
If we can get 2-3 per house,
Perhaps cool.
Yeah, but
because some of them can finance themselves.
Yeah, you want to set
But the scholarships, he has increased that. We try to get our children all over the place, Cuba, Taiwan, everywhere. Once we entered into an agreement with Monroe College because we want to ensure that at least there's one graduate per household. That's revolutionary. That's visionary, and he's taking steps to do that. Okay, he has introduced again. I tell you that he has to be. Our Prime Minister needs to be knighted. You know, he came up with the Unipass. I think I've explained that already. Because there are a lot of students who they are working, they're employed, so they started, they took loans, etc. Because they can manage themselves, they have their loan paying, they have a salary coming in. So some of them do it part time, some of them are able to, They got time off. Philip J. Pierre has put aside a certain amount. Well, like this year, I don't know how much it is. I knew last year it was $500,000. I'm not sure how much it is now because we have a new school year started. The semester has begun. So, and the vagaries of life. Sometimes you start off well, with the intention of doing X, Y, and Z because that's how things are going. And then in the middle of that, something might have happened
of course, yes.
to derail you, to put you off guard, and you're out of pocket, and you're going to struggle. How is it? How do I continue on my educational path? Right. So this man, I don't know, man. You see, this man goes to church every Sunday. So maybe while he was asleep, a thought came to him and said, but what about these students? Maybe, because sometimes these things happen. How could I assist them? So last year I know there was $500,000 to assist in cases where students met with difficulty, financial difficulty. So they could have gotten a grant to assist maybe with finishing their tuition, board, etc. And Shelton, full disclosure, I sit on that committee, gratis. I sit on that committee, and sometimes you hear the stories. And again, listeners, my Flabo friends, this has nothing to do with color. Because when we sit at the table, the three of us, and we encounter the applications, sometimes there's an issue. The head of HRD, Human Resource Development, to call. Right there in real time. We don't ask, who do you support? Who's your party of, who's your, No. That's a solution. We look at what the person is doing, the course of study. And sometimes the course of study is nice because we need those people, maybe in science, nursing, whatever. And we say, wow. And we look at the nature of the problem, right? And we call sometimes if we are not sure, or maybe a document is missing in real time.
Right.
And then we make the allocation. Nothing to do with party affiliation, nothing to do with color. Not green, not yellow, not blue, not red. It is a solution. Remember, it is not champagne for a few. Philip's JPM mantra is not champagne for a few, but safe drinking water for all.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter where you come from or who you support. If you need the assistance, and you keep on that thing on the grants for the communities, how you call it, CDP,
Constituency Development Program.
And you keep saying that these guys who were deprived for 6 years ought to be given that money. And I agree that because that is the country's money.
That's right.
And you cannot use the country's money to discriminate.
Yes.
We cannot use the country's money to say, well, to play ASOS and bias and say, no, that person not supporting the SLP, they're not getting. No. When you use taxpayers' money, it's for the taxpayers. It doesn't matter your political stripe or color. So when we sit at that table and we decide on the grants, we give it to solutions. We will not do like one politician who says 90% of these people there are SLP and you fire everybody. So they are not solutions. They don't have families. They don't have mouths to feed. They mustn't live. They are SLP, and as that they can't. You see, boys, sometimes these fellas, the Belrose doctrine is so entrenched in that party. It is not funny.
Maybe it was not really a Belrose doctrine. Maybe it was articulated by Belrose, but it's
we know that it was articulated by
Belrose, but
because these fellas went to New York.
Yeah, but it's very much a certain person, who is the leader of the pack leader.
These guys went to New York.
Yeah, and telling people
dozen barrels
and
make sure it's UWP.
UWP people.
That's the substance of the platform,
how low and petty can you get?
That is the substance, Shelton, of the platform rhetoric. Nothing to offer. You understand? Champagne for the few. That's what they figure. That is so entrenched in these people. But Philip J. Pierre's philosophy is different. Okay? It's safe drinking water for all. And so everybody, and he has said so. So when he says 5 CXCs, man, that's 5 CXCs. That for everybody. It's not for UWP, it's for everybody. So my Flabo friends, I want you to understand that. Philip J. Pierre does not discriminate. He does not believe in the Belrose doctrine. He believes that as a liberator, he must provide safe drink. In other words, a safety net must be there for everyone must benefit, regardless of political persuasion, political color, religious affiliation. I mean, come on, man. We're doing it well. So, we're doing that. Then, that's Unipass. So, we take care of things like that. So, you're in a program, you encounter difficulty. So, the policy is clear. There's no discrimination. It's taxpayers' money to look after taxpayers. You understand? And I'm very pleased to be part of that committee to ensure that we do what we have to do. So when we leave there, our conscience is clear. We have helped St. Lucians. We have helped the citizens. Not that we helped Labour Party supporters. No, we helped everybody. Now, Shelton, let me just come quickly to the e-books laptops. I keep hearing there's a caller who calls another talk show and says from the time the e-books came in, there was a certain book costing $195 he did not have to buy again. Shelton, that's the biggest lie this side of Mexico, or this side of the what river? We have the Masha River. Let me tell you about the e-books. Don't get me wrong, the concept was nice. But first of all, I wish I had a demonstration to show you. The e-books were so very fragile. That's why they were breaking down. And I would have shown you why they were breaking. The screens were cracking. And there was a reason why the screens were cracking. Secondly, the content on that. Jordan is a mismatch. You see, we got this thing from India. Fortuna Picks, that's the company. A mismatch. Shelton, that thing was so inadequate, the content, that it wasn't worth the thing, the effort. Plus, you have to pay $100, $100 US every year for content that doesn't match our syllabus.
Right.
I mean, it's a complete waste of time. Secondly, the students who are doing technical drawing, for those of you who understand that, those students doing technical drawing, they needed CXC decided that they had to do AutoCAD, computer assisted drawing. It affected us at Bawano because at the time they introduced that, we were not ready for it. And the e-books, you could not download the app, you could not put it in, it just was not adequate, it didn't fit our needs. All right? So when people said they did not have to buy books, there's no time in the history of St. Lucia that parents did not have to buy books, even when they had e-books. So when you hear them on the other station spewing their talking and nonsense, you just know these are lies. That never happened. We always had to buy, we always issued parents with book lists, and they always had to buy books. What I did as a principal sometimes quietly, when a parent could not afford, I would say, don't worry. Yes, because we have broadband and we have laptops. Now, come on, we have a phone. All of you, most of you looking at, if you're looking on the screen, you have a phone. When you buy a phone, does it come empty? People saying you're giving them computers if nothing. You ever saw a computer came with nothing? All the computers come with YouTube, Google, and then you could download other apps. DuckGoGo, all kinds of things, all kinds of search engines. So you just download that. Some are more tuned in to education, etc. So the nonsense they're talking, I don't understand that. Because once you have a laptop, people are doing degrees and they stay at home in their bedroom doing their degrees, doing their assignments.
Right.
They don't have to go to the library because once you are able to get the apps and you type in, the world will open up. And you have to decipher and you have to decide, boy, what I can put in, what I cannot put in. You don't want to plagiarize. You understand? You don't want to be plagiarizing. So the content is there. You just have to make sure you cite your sources properly before you submit.
Right.
So the same thing with students. Let me tell you something. If I go by any school now, I just have to sit outside, and my phone automatically connects to the Wi-Fi because the broadband, there is, So if I go, what's the closest school? Cabin Rene. If I just go outside there by the fence and I want to engage on Facebook I go on Facebook, I'll connect because as a principal, I had the password. I had to change it now. Please give it to me.
Okay.
So a child. Let me use a child. A child in a way. Okay, let's go for a son who maybe at the time doesn't have internet or Wi-Fi at home, but he has work to do. He has his laptop because you inform on all students have laptops. To Timamai, Labor UWP. All you have to do is go by the phone school.
Yes.
You sit outside there,
and you can connect, right?
And you connect, and you could do your work. You could search. You could go. You could stream. You could do everything. Nothing misses you. You could even download the Sportsmax app to watch cricket, to watch the Kings play.
Right.
You understand? Because that was brought down. Jimmy Fletcher at the time, on Dr. Anthony, broadband schools full of broadband.
I'll tell you what. It's already 1:30. I don't know if you will decide to take calls today. I leave that up to you.
Yes, all right.
This is The Real Issues, folks, with me, Shelton Daniel, accompanied by Terry Fenelon in the studio. Let's take the break, and when we come back, he'll decide whether he wants to continue or whether he wants to open the lines at some point for some calls.
Right.
But we'll be in the final stretch of today's program.
All right.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Ministre qui a une responsabilité pour santé qui a offert un service neuf en bas programme Universal Health Coverage là. Service ça là c'est pour femmes faire test pap smear pour aider à adresser problème cancer en matrice. Service nouveau pap smear ça là plus confortable et plus facile. Nous commander pour toute femme pour l'avantage service ça là et aller en wellness center en commune pour apprendre plus à sous sa clinique pap smear ça là qu'a offert. Ada une semaine seulement ou ka jwen résultat l'examen pap smear. Et si mou chwe bagay pas normal, et ben la ni cancer, ou ka traper examiner encore durant une semaine. La ka ni examination pour HPV 16 et HPV 18 qui ça en cause cancer en matrice. Si résultat test la pas normal, ou ka jwen un appointment vitement pour traitement. Et là, ou ka jwen plus information à sous maladie et guérison. Nous commandons toute femme pour prendre l'avantage service neuf ça là pour adresser problème cancer. Et UHC, santé ou c'est l'enterrer nous. Pour plus d'informations, téléphonez 468 5300 et bien 468 5328.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, continues to provide more for pregnant women in St. Lucia. Through maternal and child health services under universal health coverage, pregnant women will receive laboratory and ultrasound services through community wellness centers island-wide at no cost. From care during and after pregnancy, vaccinations, family planning to nutritional and mental health counseling, we are here to support you. Take advantage of our weekly services at no cost. And from 1st June 2023, the addition of laboratory and ultrasound services will ease the pressure to aid healthier and safer delivery for you and your baby. Visit your nearest wellness center to register for universal health coverage. For more information, call 468-5300 or 468-5328.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues on this Thursday, October the 3rd, 2024, with me, Shelton Daniel, accompanied in studio by Terence Fenelon, and I turn over to him again as he will be the one making the decision if and when the phone lines are open for your calls. But he's got some more stuff that he needs to go through.
Yeah, there's a lot more. I was telling Shelton that if you don't take calls, but I think I don't want to be disrespectful to you. I think it's your program. You need to have something. So let me do one thing. These guys were in the States, United States, and their platform was just a whole lot of gibberish. You know, the Prime Minister's daughter, Renault's daughter, and it was painful to watch because there was nothing coming out. So somebody must have spoken to them, and they went to the boulevard, and they outlined their policies. And now I wrote something, and I think Shelton misunderstood me, so I want to go over that. So let's see. Let us see and hear from them on the boulevard as they articulate the policies for pushing the country forward. So
Shakespeare do know kwa igume la Jesu savu pa ka igume with a fall man kote bayale. There was once a time when we knew respect and decorum and the word honor meant something.
We have to wake up vex in this country so we can take our country back. About 2 to 3 months ago, I was driving down the Bois d'Orange Road, and I'm sorry if I upset some people by what I have to say. There was a dead dog on the road. Dead dog for 2 days on the side of the road at Bois d'Orange. We have to wake up vex in this country.
Coupe, ika coupe. Coupe, ika coupe. We have the women. You come in, imbecile.
Will you get vexed?
Touch me, Philip. I am going to cut you down. I am going to cut you down. They are possessed by demons. In St. Lucia, there is a demon-possessed man slandering people's names.
I want you to know that I've had a discussion with Mr. Martinez. Birds of a feather will flock together.
Are you with me? No backbone, are you?
Yes, my people, I'm about to dissect the policies outlined by the UWP to advance the country. Now, if I have to do that, there'll be dead air. Because
there's nothing.
There's nothing. I mean, you're in New York, you did papi show yourself. You're coming back to St. Lucia, and you are offering the people nothing. This is a substance. This is what you're in opposition. You cannot attack the policies. What are you going to say? Can you attack the minimum wage that is given? I hear the leader says it's it's not enough. But at the same time, he's knocking it. It's not enough. But you want to see. But he was actively working on it. I mean, I am waiting for the policies because I really want to look at the policies and take it apart. And this is what these guys are presenting. I mean, Flabo friends, seriously? You left your home for that diet of gibberish, detritus, nothing of substance? You spent hours in the hot sun for what? To hear these guys. What's Spider say? You got a book about you. I mean, how is that going to affect the students? What is this at all? I mean, seriously, you cannot articulate demon. About slandering people.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. So Flabo, you're going to leave your home to come to a meeting, and that is what you're going to get. Nothing to how it's going to improve your lives, how it's going to raise your standard of living, how it's going to put food on the table, how it's going to educate our children. What is the policy of the what is your foreign policy? You're going to go back to Lima, and then you're going to kick Cuba out again, and we can't get our eye care, our eye program. What it is that you're going to do?
You come in and complain about our fuel prices, and there was an opportunity to collaborate with Venezuela,
Oh my God!
You went and marginalized and sidelined them with this whole Lima group exercise and all of that, I mean, St. Kitts, Antigua, these are all places that are advancing their Petro-Caribbean, arrangements and all this kind of thing.
I mean, seriously, that is what you left your home for on Sunday. I mean, when I I go to the market set,
Dominica, he come in and use Dominica. Dominica is the most advanced in terms of the relationship with Venezuela and leveraging it in a manner to help their economic
to benefit the putting the people first.
Yeah, you go in and mess around with everything that was being done for our benefit to what? To brown nose Donald Trump. What is done? Donald Trump thinks of us as plain case as shithole countries. Who the hell are we and so on? You go in and brown nose him. What have we gotten for that?
Nada.
We can show what we got from Cuba.
Correct.
We can show endless scholarships and qualified people in engineering, in medicine, you name it and so on. What have we gotten for Venezuela? Housing help and all different kinds of assistance we have gotten for them. The eye care program, they financed it. Cuban doctors executed it, but Venezuela financed it. You go in and mess around with all those things. Now you want to come and tell Philip J. Pierre about fuel prices and this kind of thing,
And then you're going to, seriously. So we're going to open the phone lines, Shelton, if you don't mind. But I'm going to ask you. We have a call already.
Yeah.
Yes, let's take that call, Shelton.
Hi, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh my God, you put me on the spot there for a little bit.
How come you call? You didn't know you called and put you on the spot.
I listening to you all so intently that my remote was away from me for a bit.
Jodia upa lar, okay? You're not all there. Upa fin lar.
No, ma fin lar, man. Myself to tell Muna ki asis lot bow lar, man. Me come ma vam bisi ajwen koye twaka. But let me say this. Did you, Mr. Fenelon, did you equate what transpired in the boulevard on that day as a diet of something?
A diet? No. That it is a diet of oh my God. There's a fellow who describe Trump as a Picasso of pettiness and a Shakespeare of shit. That's what that's what we got on the boulevard. It was a diet of, let me leave that to you. It was just nonsense.
You would not believe, Mr. Fenelon. You would not believe that nobody was concerned with what they were told in the boulevard.
Yeah, there's
everybody seemed to have been concerned with the turnout.
That's right.
What that turnout was rather than what
the substance.
Heard.
Yes.
Right? Because they recognized there was nothing. Okay? And Sarah wants us to wake up vex.
Yeah, and clean dogs.
Okay.
Or pick up dogs.
Wake up vex. But I've been trying to get to her so I could have let her know that it's not only Bois d'Orange. There was a dead dog. A dead dog in Bois d'Orange. It's not only Bois d'Orange. Because I was coming up north recently and there was a dead dog. A dead dog in the region of the Mikud South area. So I don't know if she wants to send the MP to clean it. She probably wanted baby to clean the dead dog in Bois d'Orange. So if that is what she wanted, there was a dead dog along the Mikud South area there. So I don't know how she wants to deal with it. But let me tell you, I don't understand what is in there. And hello, you know what? There's nothing to talk about, okay? Outside of the great work, great policies that are impacting everybody regardless of what spot they are on the ladder. Because Mr. Pierre strut the fleet. Mr. Pierre is so confident that he has done well and will continue to do well for this country. Mr. Pierre no longer walks his struts.
That's right.
Mr. Pierre struts and he's skanking. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And Mr. Pierre is not even so concerned about the crazy socks because he knows he's doing crazy things for us. Things that Chastney had the opportunity to do. And then he embraces his whiteness. Okay? Proudly embraces his whiteness in New York because he has nothing more to tell the people. But Mr. Pierre went to New York. Okay? Mr. Pierre went to the United States of America and he allayed the fears of the people who had no fears. He never told them anything about barrels, that if they as Labour supporters send down barrels, don't share with flabos. Mr. Pierre, not mad. Okay, now we don't have much time. There's too much to talk about.
All right.
Let's give other people an opportunity to talk. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you for that call.
Okay, thank you. 487-9849. That's the number that you can WhatsApp call us on. 758-487-9849. And the landline local 4533911. We have someone else on the line.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon, Brother Felino.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to just bring to the fore four issues concerning the tale of two prime ministers. Under one prime minister, there were metal barriers. Metal barriers were erected, and they had armed police officers outside the parliament to prevent St. Lucians from having access to the house sittings. But under another prime minister, these barriers were removed, and St. Lucians have access now to enter parliament, to listen to the house sittings. Under one prime minister, jazz was staged in hotels. Jazz were removed from the common man. But under another prime minister, jazz was free up for the people, for the masses. You had jazz everywhere, jazz on the square, jazz in the boulevard. You had jazz everywhere. The third one I want to bring to the fore concerning the tale of two prime ministers was the distress fund. A fund where monies were allocated for poor people, poor people who couldn't insure their houses. So under one prime minister, that was stopped. Under another prime minister, that was replaced. And the last one I want to bring to the fore concerning the tale of two prime ministers. Under one prime minister, there was the discontinuation of the subvention for the National Trust. Not a peco, because it was said that the former prime minister daughter, Janine Compton, used to pass a certain former prime minister straight, so she couldn't receive employment in her country, and as a result, they was stripped. National Trust was stripped of the subvention. A prime minister came, and the prime minister came and reinstated. So that's my little take on the tale of two prime ministers. Have a good one.
Correct. Thank you. Others can have their own tale of two prime ministers, because I want that to resonate with us when you look at this. Keep it in mind, when you contrast these guys. There's no comparison. You contrast. One is about building and putting people first. One is about champagne for a few. The fine things just for a few. Whereas one, the liberator, is looking to put his people first and ensuring that his people enjoy the piece of the pie. You have any more calls? Something?
All right, 487-9849 or 4533911. You can call.
Shelton, there's a scene, and I think
okay, we lost that one.
Okay, there's a scene, Shelton. Let me get it. That when the Lord blesses you, you don't build a bigger fence or a bigger wall. You build a bigger table. Are you familiar with this?
Not exactly.
Okay,
yes.
But basically, when you are blessed, you look after, and you're in a position to help people. At least if you can help them, don't hurt them. But you're in a position. Most of us, when we have an increased salary, we get better things. We buy a bigger car. We tint it darker. We don't put the glass down, air condition. We don't say hello to our fellow people. We build bigger walls to keep people out.
Yes.
But the humanitarian, that Philip J. Perry is saying that once the economy improves, it's not going to be champagne for the few. I'm going to build a bigger table, so more of the St. Lucia, more of the citizens can dine, can eat, can have, can feel part of, can enjoy the spoils of the economy. So once we begin to do things right, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to build a bigger wall. We're going to build a bigger table, so more people can share.
So that we can have a bigger pie that we can share with more people.
Yes, that's right. So that is why I believe that, Shelton, too, that so many people are coming out to the events, because I think they're seeing in the prime minister, like you see for Juju, the humility, the kindness, and there is something about her, and there's something about the PM, a genuineness, a love for the people, and I think that resonates. People can connect to that, and that is why I think he has that. Even after 3 years, that people are going to come out and support him because they're resonating with him. There's a connection, because people are really trying to put the people first, and so it's not champagne for the few, according to Thomas Sankara. It is clear drinking, healthy drinking water for all.
Yes,
and we are seeing that encapsulated in the man. He defines that. He embodies that mantra. So he's trying to ensure that we all benefit from the pie. Any calls, Shekwan?
No, it doesn't seem like we have any. So you can.
Okay, so you can. Yeah. So, Shelton, as I'm saying, somebody told me about somebody said they build 90% of the schools. I mean,
there's what?
90% of the schools. Don't forget the church. The churches build schools, a lot of schools.
Yes.
The Catholic Church, the Anglicans, the Methodists, a lot of the schools. And then when it really mattered, when we had to get those off shift, Kenny Anthony and the minister, they did that. So we're not going to haggle over that. The facts are there. Although I'm going to repeat it time and time because we have to drive it home until it hits home. Repetition. People have to understand that. We're going to drive it home. Yes. So we're not bothered. We have to let our people know that they have to keep on message. We don't get sidetracked. We don't get sidetracked. Yes, the way to combat misinformation is with truth, and we're going to be highlighting and speaking the truth. So when people talk about let's take the call.
Hi, caller. Real Issues. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Shelton.
Hey, what's up?
Good afternoon.
Mr.
Felina.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
You can always tell the fellas who lime together, because it's only when Felina here you call in, Okay. All right, that's not true. Okay, that's okay. That's not true. Okay, that's not true. I lie on you. I lie on you, but
the line doesn't be too hot.
But I know by the bridge by Grand Riviere what happens there. Well, go ahead.
Let me tell you, Shelton. Yesterday, your program was a lot about the preschoolers, and one of the things I believe you missed. Probably you have had your children are very aged now, so you're not aware. Are you aware that when your child stays from, I believe, on 4 until 6, the parents have to pay an extra fee, and that have been there for years?
That's at every school or certain
the preschools.
Huh?
The preschools.
Yeah. Okay. Is it every one of them who applies that and implements it?
I believe. I except from the daycare centers, I believe every preschool that is something they have a standard procedure.
Okay. Because some of them they have the right. Some of them they have the right to do it, but they don't do it because they understand the vibe of no say no mem. I don't come in. Saying they no can try and they on a lot.
So that have been there.
Okay.
That have been there. The moment you go beyond 4, you have to pay an extra $15 or something like that.
Okay.
So when I hear people talking about the minimum wage and the bottom line and they will close down, and then it has nothing to do with that. It has just what is happening there is they are concerned about their lifestyle. And what prompted me to call is when Felina said, when people make more, you don't build bigger fences, but you buy a bigger table to accommodate people to eat. More people to eat at the table.
Okay.
So their lifestyle, probably the profit will have managed them to live a certain lifestyle. So in giving the worker a little more, will probably cut down on the profit that they can't live that certain lifestyle. Because let me tell you, Shelton, you could see preschool owners, you don't know, you ask your friend Maria how she know that, but if you go around, you go see the lifestyle that they're living,
Okay.
while the workers walk in to come to school, they have the big cars, the jeeps. They're living in nice fancy houses and stuff, you know. So you could see that.
Okay.
So I heard you making a cry, not a big cry, but I heard you crying there as if, well, they really getting busted. But they're getting busted. It's just that they just don't want to cut down on what they were making.
Okay.
So what about the man that have been paying $1,000 a month for God knows when because of his conscience? He have been paying people that kind of price, and we live in a semi-economy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it have nothing to do with well, boy, I will close the hour. It's just like the man with the 1% riding on a jet go to Dubai to gamble on his own. He there and his bodyguards. And when things turn up on him, he's saying, but you know what, I have to go on a commercial right now. So that lifestyle will change.
Okay.
That is what it is. That's the issue, my brother.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, let me tell you, Chris.
We just have time to wrap up now.
To wrap up, okay.
It's 1:59 and the lotto will cut.
It is a pleasure. Remember,
yeah.
It's a tale of two prime ministers. It's Philippe Japierre saying that it's not about champagne for a few, but safe drinking water for all. He has promised that as things improve, you will see a rollout of things to benefit much more than he already. I mean, right now, he has done so much in 3 years. Mm-hmm. And we're waiting for more because everybody's giving a thumbs up, handling the economy expertly, and we want to ensure that as things improve, he's not going to build a bigger fence, so there's a few will benefit, but he's going to lay out a bigger table for more to enjoy.
True.
So I want to thank you, listeners, for tolerating me today.
Mm-hmm.
Call us, yes, maybe hopefully again next week, Thursday. It was a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your being here.
Double Daily Grand 15, 16, 19, 22. Big 4, 2, 3, 7, 3. Big 4 multi-X, 2X. Pick 2, 7, 1. Pick 2 multi-X, FP. 1 off, 2, 9, 8. Lucky 3, 0, 2, 9. Lucky 3 multi-X, 3X.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.